9th of December. And so thank you so much for all your messages so far. I've really enjoyed chatting with you, and I really appreciate the support that you've been giving me, even though I've been thinking this Vlogmas has been a bit rubbish this year. But like I say, I always worry about it, and then it kind of turns out okay in the end. Well, I am all dressed up with nowhere to go. I went on a wait list for Pilates at my old gym. Do you know the one? Because I'm having a bit of an overlap with my old gyms and my new club. I tried to book onto Pilates for 10 o'clock this morning. It is now nearly 10 to 10 and I still haven't got a spot. But I've had to get ready just in case a spot becomes available. And I'd have to leave in a minute to get there. So I've got some choices. I can either go and stand at the door and hope that some people that have booked on don't turn up and they let me in. Then I might feel a bit gutted that I've gone all the way down there. And then what I could do is I could stay in the gym and just go and do something else. That's a possibility. Or I just wait here, and I thought, should I do something at home, get my yoga and Pilates mat and do something at home. I even thought of coming in here in my dusty craft room, unfinished craft room, but looking at what I'm looking at, my cutting table is really shoved over with my husband's things all over it, with a big gap down here, bigger than the gap I would leave when I was using this room, but not big enough to do any mat work. That side is big enough, but he's got that metal workbench with things all over it, a bucket, there's loads of tools. I suppose I could move things around and do stuff, but it kind of makes me feel like, it just puts me off doing anything. But because of all that food I had yesterday, that Christmas dinner and things, I do feel pretty keen to do something. So what I might do, I've chatted with you, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to get off camera, I'm going to grab my mat, I'm going to fill my water bottle up, I'm going to head down the gym and go to the door and hope for the best. I think that's what I'm going to do. I might change my mind, but whatever. I'll come back later and we'll do the advents and things. And I don't know what else I've got planned other than that. I've already got dinner in, because I got dinner for a few nights when I went to Aldi yesterday. So I'll probably just have to pick up some pop and things maybe on the days. Pop, that is fizzy drink, like what you call not soda, what do you call it? Soft drinks. Yeah, I live in the Midlands and we grew up calling it pop. I only realised this was strange when I went on holiday to York when I was 14, and none of the people that I met, apart from a young lad from the Black Country in the Midlands, none of them knew what I was on about. So yeah, we're on about, I forgot what you call it again, a soft drink. We call it pop. We used to have the pop man. My auntie Linda, who I always talk about, that had an untimely death, she lived in a place called Chelmsley Wood, and over there they had a pop man, and she introduced me to all the bad things, pop noodles, pop tarts, fizzy pop, all the bad stuff. Smashed, like the mashed potato that you just add water to. Because I didn't have anything like that at home. I had like orange juice, maybe some squash, and we had meat and veg and potatoes and things, what I'm saying. But my auntie Linda, she introduced me to all the bad things. So anyway, I better get a move on, because I'll either get a space, I won't even get down there in time. So anyway, I'll see you later. Welcome back. I am back from one of my old gyms, which I'm still a member of. Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't get onto Pilates. I got to the door. The Pilates teacher literally stands there with a clipboard with the names, and I told her that I was on the wait list, but she said, "Oh, sorry, we're full. We're not as busy on Wednesdays." But I've actually got yoga booked at my other gym at some point. So yeah, I'm not going to bother going back tomorrow. However, I was at the gym, so I went and locked my stuff up in the locker. I went in the room next door where there's a load of exercise bikes, and a class had just finished a spin, and I didn't know it, and he said, yeah, we're finished now, you can use the room. And he said, do you want me to leave the air conditioning on? I said, oh yes please, and the light. So it was rather nice. There was a couple of ladies in there when I started, but I ended up having the room to myself. So I did a 30-minute cycle, which I haven't done in like ages. I've done a lot of cycling. I've done this year. I've done loads, but I haven't done any for about 3 months. But yeah, it was quite good fun. And then I did a 5-minute cool down. But I'm back home now, and I've done myself a hot chocolate. Now this is half a Belgian hot chocolate and half a mint hot chocolate, because I was running out of one and I had to start another. So we'll see what this is like. Oh, my mug looks all dirty. Oh, it goes over the side when I'm doing this. Well, anyway, I'm going to drink this. Oh, God, have a sip. It's rather nice, actually, the mix. So basically, I've got to go and get myself straightened up now, because I'm going to this parent carer forum thing, and it's like a bit of a get together. But luckily, it's down the road. I think what my plan was initially, I was going to go to Pilates and then just go straight there. But I've decided to come home and get myself sorted. And I got a bit more hot on a bike than I would in Pilates anyway. I probably burnt more calories going on the bike or, you know, then going to Pilates, didn't I? Burn off some of that Christmas dinner I had yesterday. And I'm going to be having more party food now. Now I go to this parent care forum get together. So anyway, I may film down there, I might not, but either way, I'll be back later. So I'll see you in the next video. Okay, welcome back. So this is my favourite part of the video actually. I really enjoy doing this. I can just sit down, and mostly it's quite relaxing, depending on if I'm worried about any external noise that is going on in my house. So I'm going to update you on the gnome along. I'm going to show you a bit of that embroidery thing that I said that I bought. I'm going to update you on that knitting. I said there were some errors and things. But anyway, and we're going to do the advents. So shall we do the advents first? I can tell you about the gnome. There was no knitting clue for the gnome today. It was a bit of the story. So there's nothing to show you. Now regarding doing the gnome alongs, these mystery gnomes alongs I do in December. Regarding the story, I tend to not read the story until the final bit, till we've got all the pieces, and yeah, so that's how I do it. But I won't be able to read that online, I don't think, as it's a paid pattern, isn't it? So I don't think I could read it out to you. But anyway, now it's the 9th. Oh, sorry. I'm knocking the garland out of Imogen's hands. So the smart dolls have been doing quite well out of the calendar so far, because they've got their own calendar, and then I've provided things on some of the days, on the odd days, and but Barbie hasn't had anything yet. I haven't made it yet, and my Blythe doll has had 2 items so far. Now I was in 2 minds whether to open something Blythe today, but I've decided to open something Smart Doll, and it's for good reason, because I want to tell you about something. But anyway, so I'm going to put this aside, but we are going to be opening a Smart Doll item today, and it's something I've made, and I can tell you all about it. So we'll get the sewing street. Yeah, do you know what happened today? Do you know that parent carer forum thing I went to, when I've chatted with you this morning all about my dilemma about whether I should go to Pilates or not because they might turn me away, I'd totally forgotten about it. And then I remember I confirmed that I was definitely going because she wanted to know the numbers of food and I didn't want to let them down. And I'm so glad I went. I actually bumped into a lady that I've met in yoga at the gym that I'm leaving actually. She haven't been there in ages. And and I got chatting with a lady that I've never like chatted with before. Her husband has retired. I think he owned Severn Valley Railway or something. But yeah, how fabulous. Something like that. He's very high up, but he's like kind of semi-retired now. But I had a lovely conversation with her. Right, number 9. Isn't it amazing? You go to these things and the incredible people that you speak to. I don't think my stories were all that incredible because she kind of wanted to how my husband and I met, and it was all to do with that. It was into like nightclubbing and things, so it probably didn't make me come off that great actually. Talking about glow sticks and things, but you know, I'm a grown up now. I haven't been in a nightclub in many years, so but anyway, look people, remember I had one of these last year. Excuse me, my nose is going. Nice tissues. Yeah, I had one of these last year and I nearly cut myself on camera. They're snips. They look like glasses, but they're not. I will admit, do you know the others? They might still be in the calendar from last year. The calendar, it's down there in my bedroom because maybe I was meant to be out of my craft room. I'd basically I moved out of my craft room, and then because nothing was happening I moved things back in there and was still using it, and my husband said, why aren't you out of there? So, well, you're not doing anything, you're doing outside. So I kept using it. I have some knowledge of it. You pull this out and then you do that. So at least I remember how to use it, people. You know, it's been a whole year. They're fantastic, aren't they? Now, I think the thing you have to be most careful about is when you close them, make sure they're back in, because then you're going to be pushing them. I must admit, it's a bit scary. I'm wiggling, yeah. They are scary, but as long as they're lined in, they shouldn't be scary. Again, I'm going to leave those out. I've got a little mirror on my dressing table, and it's got I think it's from IKEA. It lights up, and it's got like a dish at the bottom, and then it ends up getting filled with all kinds of things, jewellery, and at the moment there's like sewing related things I've got out of this calendar. But yeah, that was rather fun. I love these sewing calendars. I didn't have a yarn, as you probably have realised, I didn't have a yarn calendar this year. Last year was my first year to have a yarn calendar, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I have used some of the yarns, so yeah, it's really nice. But I must admit, because of all my problems I've had this year, my knitting problems this year have been, and crochet, is running out of yarn in a project and not being able to get the right yarn to finish it. And yeah, it's a bit fearful buying all these little odds and sods. However, you could make nice blankets. I have started blankets, knitted blankets and crochet ones. I've never finished them. They're just, yeah, ongoing. But life is a bit all over the place, isn't it, at the moment for me? So no wonder my projects are here, there and everywhere. So shall we open the Our Generation? Now, the eagle-eyed in you may have noticed that Phoebe isn't sitting there. Now, Lexi's here. Looking at her, she looks quite seductive, doesn't she, actually, sitting here in her underwear. She has got socks on and shoes and official Smart Doll underwear. She's actually got a push-up bust like Mirai, an upgrade I gave her. Now, Lexi's on that body that I've told you about. She's an old Generation 2 Cortex body that is broken. The cuffs are broken and things, and someone was selling her for scrap. So I bought the body so I could use for dressmaking purposes. Now, like all you smart doll owners probably realise, you end up with another head, don't you, in the matching skin tone. So then you end up using the body. So that's what's happened. But it does grieve me to know she's got some issues and things. But her tummy looks like it's sticking out. Oh, I've got a pause button on my screen here, and it's making her tummy look bulbous, but I'm sure that's not what you can see. Actually, regarding filming, I've been watching a knitter, Jules, well, she's sharing more quilting now, Jules Hill, and she's got a gadget now that she calls a cameraman, and it follows her around the room, and it's something I'd be really interested in investing into my channel, maybe next year, but there's no point at the moment because I'm just sitting in one space. I don't need you to follow me around the room, do I? But maybe going, oh gosh, I didn't put that back. It wasn't hard to find today. I must admit they're getting a lot easier because I'm turning the doors around as I've opened them. It's really pretty. Oh, I'm wearing something else today. I'm back in my leggings and I've tied my hair up. But this is a top I made and I wore it out for Christmas dinner. I think if I was watching my Stitch Diary back, my Stitch Diary November, I told you, I think I said I made it in like 2001 or something. If I start saying 2001, please ignore me. It'll be 2021. I think I made this for Christmas Day meal. I wore it with black trousers or smart black jeans. Yeah, I wore it out for dinner and I don't even remember because I made another pattern similar, the Astoria by Seamwork. It is like that, but it isn't that, and I can't remember whose it is because the Astoria is really fitted and it's got a higher neck, but this has got it's a bit looser. There's cuffs on it. But yeah, I can't remember, but it's really glitzy and it's really nice. But I've just got my leggings on now, my hair tied up. So I've got Phoebe over here, look. So Phoebe, can you point to number 9, please? I found a new YouTuber today, actually, called Debbie in Australia. And she collects, she's a new channel. And someone recommended her to me. She collects American Girl dolls, which are very much like these Our Generation. So Phoebe, can you see it? It's up here. It's up here. I love watching YouTube, you know, really love it. But it's hard to get the time to do loads of it when I'm doing this. What on earth is this? What do you think it is? Oh wow! It's got OG on it, which stands for Our Generation, and that's what sort of doll Phoebe is. And it's actually a bottle of milk with a straw in it. It could even be milkshake. I can't really, it looks milky colour to me. Maybe it looks different on camera, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's milk. Oh my goodness, how lovely. Now, I don't think she can hold it herself, not unless she can hold it with her other hand. Yeah, so I will have to put this on the tray. There's my Portugal penguin, I was going to say. Portugal chicken. There's like a myth about this chicken saying, it was like a guy, they were saying, if the cockerel, the dead cockerel crows or something, he was telling the truth, and the burned cockerel crowed, something along those lines. Really believable story, isn't it? So I'm going to put the milk on here. Oh, how lovely. This is a really good size for smart dolls, this tray. Everything fell over. Right, so as I say, this calendar we're going to be opening tomorrow, because tomorrow is day 10. So you believe it, we're going to be opening this again. And tomorrow I'm getting my nails done. So I can't wait. Actually, this is going to be quite fun, because when I have my nails done normally, do you know I said I'd be happy to get 2 weeks out of a nail treatment? I wouldn't even get a week out of it. I normally have something fall off after a day, and then by day 2 another. I'd have like 3 gone, like 3 days in, so it's really not worth it. So this is a real test, but because my nails I feel quite damaged on the ends, and it's not through doing anything too crazy because I just paint them, it might take a few goes for this treatment to really help, but it'll be a really good experiment, won't it? We can kind of look at my daily experience, and I'm going to try and like keep my hands out of disinfectant and things, maybe wear some gloves and things. So shall we open my personal calendar? Now I haven't wrapped this item because this is fresh off the needles, but ta-da! I knitted the Smart Doll hat. Now I've used pure wool Rowan yarn from my stash. Now do you remember me saying this designer didn't use UK terms? She said it was sport weight, which I presumed was DK, and she told me any yarn, if it's that length and that weight, it will work. And because I was fretting that I've got like leftovers, I wouldn't know, but I'd got a fresh ball of red and the ball band was on it, and it's the exact weight and length what this designer suggests, even though the yarn is different. And this is from my stash. This is probably free from a knitting or crochet magazine, because I used to collect them, but because I've become a bit of a yarn snob, I don't collect them so much anymore, because then I end up with like yarn I'm not going to use. But this is basically knitted. It's really quite hard to see where you count your stitches and things with this. It's so fluffy. And this, you crochet the bobble. So even though it's a knitting pattern, there's some crochet involved, and oh my goodness, counting. Look, finding your stitch in this was a little bit crazy, but I managed it. But that is why I've bought another Smart Doll into the frame, because Mirai has got this hat that came out of the Smart Boutique calendar, and I didn't want to take it off her. I don't want to take anything off the dolls that came out of that calendar, because I want to dress them up as we go along. And Imogen is wearing that gorgeous beret that I made yesterday. I didn't want to take that off either. So, I didn't make it yesterday, I made it the day before and then I put it on her. So, or I made it this month. Sorry, I'm getting all mixed up. It's because I made my Smart Doll beret as well. But I actually made, even though my lovely Evangeline got the beret first, I actually made the Smart Doll one first. So this is Lexi. She's very busty girl from my doing. I've just steamed blocked this down in the garden room because I was down there getting printouts. Oh my goodness. She certainly looks a bit saucy now with her underwear and this Santa hat. Santa baby. I can't sing too much because I'll get fined. I'll be unmonetized. Oh my goodness, look at that hat. Oh, I'll hide a bust. This might offend some people. But how cute is this hat? Oh my goodness, I love it. So I've got the pattern here. I'll show you her broken cuffs actually. I don't know if you can see it there. Do you know, if I could get some Generation 2 arms from somebody, I could replace them and then her body wouldn't be too bad. But you can't get them on the Smart Doll website because it's an Evolve frame now. So my best bet is like in a Facebook group or something. Or if somebody's watching my video and you've got some spare body parts, some T arms in Gen 2, I would be delighted to buy some new arms. I do miss having this body for dressmaking purposes, I will admit. So we've got 3 girls here now. Now Lexi, her doll name, she's a doll you could still get, and she's called Legion, and she's in the T. And Mirai you can get, and also Imogen. So these are all current girls you can get at the moment. But I built my Lexi, Legion. I built my Imogen. Mirai is the only doll here that came as she is, other than I've given her a push-up bust. So, oh, don't they look adorable? So yeah, we've had some interesting items today, haven't we? We've had those scissors that are, you know, rather dangerous, like the sewing one. We've had the hat out of my one, the homemade hat, and we've had a bottle of milk. Actually, do you know these girls, they could hold it. Actually, if I move this a minute. Here we go, Imogen. Imogen can hold the milk. And I've got all different hands for them. I'll put it up to her mouth, look. And we'll drape the gingerbread garland. Oh, what a sweetheart. So unfortunately, the girls are still looking a bit scantily dressed, even more so now because we've brought another girl in, and because these girls have had an upgrade, they look like something out of a 90s boys car magazine, don't they? That's like my era, isn't it, really? So anyway, the pattern and the mistakes in the pattern that I found. This is the pattern. I didn't print out all the pages. Now, somebody said in the comments that they really like these patterns. I'm sorry, I can't remember who said it now, because I'm reading everybody's comments and I'm commenting to everybody. So sometimes remembering who said what is a bit of a struggle without looking back. But I can go back and have a look. But she said that she'd saved the mitten and the hat and glove pattern in a saved area, but she was interested to know what was wrong with this. So I've wrote notes as I went along. It's nothing too major, but it's enough to cause you a bit of confusion. So with this pattern, you cast on a certain number of stitches. Obviously, I can't tell you how many because this is a paid pattern. And then you divide them up between 4 double-pointed needles, and then you knit in the round for X amount of rows, what it tells you in here, doing a rib stitch basically. Then you're going to be changing to your red yarn. And what it says is you're going to knit 60, right? Now, there's no way you're going to knit 60 because you don't cast that many stitches on in the first place, and you haven't done any increasing to this point in the pattern. So I thought, should there be 60 stitches at this point and something has been missed, or is this a misprint? So I had to look at the next round where there was going to be some decreases. So you knit a certain amount of stitches and then do a decrease, and you do this 6 times, and it tells you how many stitches you would end with. So I worked out, if I did that, if I'd got 60 stitches, what would I be left with? Or if I did that on the amount of stitches I did have on my needles, what would it come out as? And it actually it came out the right amount with what I had on my needles. So when it says knit 60, cross that out. You're not going to have 60 stitches to knit. It's not right, okay? So on the next time I checked, when we're doing decreases again, it all worked out okay. It says you're going to end up with 30 stitches, and we did end up with 30 stitches. But then on the next decrease, it tells you now the next time you start knitting again, you're going to knit for 36 stitches. You haven't got 36 stitches, you've got 30 stitches on your needles. So I basically crossed out the 6 where it says 36 and I put a 0, okay? So that's on row 27 to 37. So the 2 places I've had to make an adjustment so far is round 9 to 13. It says knit 60. I've crossed that out. And it would actually be knit 42 there. So, and the next mistake is on rows 27 to 37. It says knit 36, but it's actually 30. And what I decided to do on that row, because it was knit 30, I took a needle out because I'd got it on 4 needles and then I used a 5th needle for knitting. I then reduced my needles, so I had 10 on 3 needles, and then I put 1 needle aside and I just used the 1 extra for stitching. So, and it made it really good then for the decreasing. I don't think after that I had any problems. Now the only thing I did different then, when you get to the end of the red bit, you're going to end up with 12 stitches. Do you? That's the pom-pom. It's the page before, sorry. At the end, you're going to have 18 stitches left and it wants you to gather it. But I thought it looked very rounded, the end. I thought, no way have they gathered 18 stitches. So what I did is I decreased oh, the light has gone off. I decreased twice on each needle on the next row, and then I knitted a row, and then I decreased on each needle again. I did a bit of my own decreasing for a little bit to get that rounded look I think they got. And then when I got a few stitches, so I did a few more decreasing rows, a decrease and just a knit row, decrease and knit row. I did a few more at the end of this just to get a bit narrower at the end. Can you see this here? It probably would have been a bit wider at the end. Right, okay, so yeah, so nothing major, but obviously I'm stress knitting, this sort of. I was knitting really quickly because, you know, I said to you I haven't got enough advent gifts to open on the odd days, so I'm busting a gut making things, so I will do. So I still haven't got enough, so I'm still under pressure. But I'm going to keep going. I have agreed to purchase a Smart Doll item, an item of clothing from America. It's not Christmas related, but whether it would come in time, it says if I choose even the most worst postage they're offering me, it apparently would be here in time, but we'll just see. Well, anyway, I told you I ordered 2 embroidery kits from a seller in my country, from Leicester, and they've not arrived yet. I'm not expecting to have arrived yet. They're not even being dispatched yet, actually. However, I ordered a digital pattern from her, embroidery pattern, and I've printed it out, and it's just 3 sheets. And to be honest, at the moment I'm a tad disappointed, because if you saw the pictures on the advert, they're fabulous, the pictures, it's really gorgeous, but the instructions on how you achieve it are limited. So I think you need a certain level of experience with embroidery. I have done a lot of embroidery, but those are these designs. Now, I'm not going to be making this. This was an advent calendar, so you were meant to stitch 1 a day onto fabric, but I got it because I thought, well, I could stitch these onto doll clothing or anything I want to, actually. So that was my plan. So I've cut out a Blythe dress, and I can't do anything. I've got to do something quite bold because the whole dress is patterned. There's no plain bits of fabric on this Blythe dress, and it's something I'll put in the calendar. But yeah, but the instructions are limited, so I don't think, to be honest, I've ordered the kits, 2 kits. I don't think the instructions are going to be any more than this, other than they're going to be printed for me, but I'll let you know, and I'll let you know how I get on with that. So that's where we're up to at the moment. I'm finishing filming this. It's actually 2 p.m, so this gives me a good amount of time now to get this video edited. If I don't decide to not add too much more to this video, I'm going to cast on another smart doll make. I probably won't continue knitting it, I'll probably just get cast on so I'm ready to start this evening when we do some TV watching. And then I might, if I get time, I might have a look at the dress that I've cut out, the Blythe dress, and see if I'm going to embroider something on it. I'd have to to do this, I'd probably have to now, because I've already cut the bodice out, I'd probably have to maybe stabilise it or something to give it a bit of rigidity to do one of these on it, but we'll just see. So anyway, whatever I do, you are going to see at some point, whether it's the next day, whether it's one day during Vlogmas, or whether it's Christmas Day. Whatever I get up to, even if I've got to keep it a secret, you're going to see eventually. And should be no later than Christmas Day, hopefully. But the only thing is, with doing all these smart doll makes, now I'm not working on my water bottle or my December bow. But what I'm doing is, once I've got enough things to go in my odd day calendar, then I can relax then a little bit with those things, and I can go back to my bow and things that I don't need to get done in a huge amount of time. So anyway, I'm finishing with this bit of video now. There may be something after, there may not, but I'm finished with this bit of the video. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you the next time I'm in front of the camera. Bye.